So back to the lift out section. What I've done is, I think I told you I got the barrel bolts on the front side. I had one that I took out of here when this was a drawer slide, and I've placed that barrel bolt. Well, you can't see it. It's back here on this corner. So what that does, it gives me 3 points of stabilization, plus I'm up against the wall over here. So, I mean, there's no play in this now. So what I'm going to do next is lay out the track and see where those connections are going to have to be made. I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to go ahead and span the entire lift out with some 3-foot sections of flex track and join them wherever they join up back here. It'd probably be about, I don't know, 5 to 6 inches into those lines there, and about the same on this side. I'm going to go ahead and get those all in place and soldered, and then see where they fall here, and then glue them down and let that sit for a day or two. And once that is set and is firmly in place, I'll go ahead and cut the rails. So I'm going to go about setting the flex track now. We're back on the side of the layout where the intermodal yard is. More of a platform, actually. I did get one of these cranes and put that together. Most everybody paints theirs yellow. I had some sort of reddish orange paint that I thought would look pretty good. So that's what I've done with this. Put a little driver in there inside the cab. And these things come with some metal BBs that you can put back inside the frame. Unfortunately, they're not heavy enough to actually keep the crane from tipping over when you've got a trailer hooked onto the crane in the front. It still is a little bit overweight there. So I'm not sure, what I'll do there. I may probably just won't have a crane or a trailer hanging off the crane. Just maybe position it, kind of back out of the way here so it's there, but obviously it doesn't have a trailer on it, but just there to to simulate how in the world did the trailers get off of the train onto the concrete pad. So that's new. I think I talked about the striping on the road over here already, and I have put a railroad crossing indicator in there. At some point, I'm going to put some crossing signals in. I think I'm going to use the eBay We Honest vendor to get those. I've seen a lot of guys on eBay that have used them, and not eBay, but YouTube, that have been fairly happy with them. A couple of other modifications I'm going to have to make, and I'm not sure how that's going to go. And what I'm talking about here is the backdrop behind these two buildings. My windowsill, or actually the trim around the window, sticks out probably a half an inch, maybe between a half and 3/4. And I'm going to use masonite on the wall that I'm either going to paint or attach photo backdrops to. And I'm going to have to fur out the masonite so that it's able to pass in front of the window over there. And when I fur that out, what it's going to do is push these buildings out away from the wall about half an inch. So my alternative is to fur it out so that it goes around the window, and then gently kind of just bring it back and attach it to the wall, and not fur it out back here. That's still going to add 1/8 of an inch behind these buildings, so I may run into an issue, especially the building on the left there. If I bring it forward 1/8 of an inch, I think the loading dock is going to interfere with the cars. I've got it sitting at about 1/4 right now, so if I slide this back in to where it's about 1/8 of an inch, I may be okay. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. There's an eighth of an inch behind the white building there, and it's got clearance. So anyway, lots of rambling there, but I think that's probably what I'll have to do. Is just fur it out here and then just bend it so that it's against the wall there. Let's see, walking down, the concrete's painted there. The concrete is painted here. Coming around the corner to the lumber yard, not much is new here. So I think that is it for now. I have another issue that I'm going to have to deal with somehow. Originally, I was going to put my passenger station, which is this right here, sitting off the edge of the layout back here, kind of right here. Just build a shelf and set it back on there. But you know, I've got the backdrop issue again, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to think some more on that. But anyway, just wanted to give you all an update as to what I'm working on today. I've got an issue back here. This is the lead for the lumber yard, and I have a switch here titled lumber, which controls the power to both of those leads back in here. What I've discovered is that I didn't think through clearly where I soldered the connector for that those two leads, because I just wanted one switch to control both of those tracks. By the time I got around here, you know, I was soldering basically an on-off switch for every siding and every you know yard track that I had. So I was kind of tired of soldering. I thought, well, heck, I'll just you know, use one switch to control the whole thing. If I decide to do that later, you know, obviously I can to make a change. But what I'm going to do right now is I'll show you what's happening when this is on. If I go ahead and, well, I can't do this because I'm controlling the camera and the phone, or the engine with the same device here. But anyway, what's happening is when this is turned on, the locomotive will run on the outside lead there just fine. But when I throw the turnout this direction to put the locomotive down the inside lead, there's no power. And the reason is, you can see where the feeder wire is there. It's on the outside of the switch, outside of the turnout. So I'm just going to put another one up here a little ways, and then another feeder rather, and connect it to the same feeder as this one, kind of do a Y connection, if you will, off the same feeder. And then both of those will be behind the power switch out here. So when I throw it in the on position, both of those leads will be powered. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Well, today I'm installing some street lights. These two in the middle are not set in place yet. You can see they're kind of leaning over, but the first two are in, the last two are drying. And what I've done to adhere these is I've put a drop of tacky glue under the bottom of each one, and then the pliers and the scissors there are just in place to hold them vertically until the glue dries. These two are dried down here, so they look pretty good. Let me see which, put a house in here. So there's one in front of a house. I think they look pretty good. They're, sorry about that. They are street lights that I got at Hobby Lobby. I don't know if they're available anymore. It's probably been, I don't know, 9 months since I bought any. But, oh, one other thing, the sidewalks here are also in. You can see I've got them down the way there. And where I got these houses are model power houses. They're all the same shape. with the exception of this one back over here. But these are all the same shape, but depending upon where you put the porch, that changes the look and feel of the house. So I've got these three here, one back over there on the train tracks, which will fit on these three areas. And each of them came with a base plate and a yard. So the base plate was probably, I don't know, 9 inches square. And I cut off the outside edge of each of those base plates to give me some sidewalk material. They've already got the grooves in them, which I don't know if you can tell those right now. They're very, very hard to see. You can see the one next to the right of the lamppost there. But anyway, I've got those in, got the sidewalks in, got the yards in. The black driveways are made out of that adhesive foam that I talked about earlier. And there's a piece of the purple foam with the adhesive backing on. You just peel the paper off and stick down. They take paint very well. Sorry about the mess here, but you know how it is when you're trying to get some modeling done. Each of these is one of those foam sheets. This one I've got to do some touch-up painting on. This one here is in place and pretty good. I put some in here underneath the glue bottle and such. But this corner here is where the grocery store is going. This corner right here is where my gas station is going. And down there underneath that green and white building is another service station pad. So I'll have two gas stations, one on that corner, one on this corner up here. And other than that, let's see, what else have I done? Let me stop the recording here for just a minute, and I will move to another area of the layout. So a couple things I forgot to touch on here. What I'm using, this little blue tube, is actually a Q-tip that I cut the cotton ends off of. I believe they came from the dollar store, so fairly easy to cut the ends off, and they're hollow, so I'm just using that to thread my wires down through the tabletop here. And the second thing is, let me show you the lamppost box. This is what they come in. So they're right at 2.5 inches tall. So I guess, what is that in HO scale? Around let's see, 87, 150 or 174 inches. So you know, right around 12 feet, I guess. But anyway, I think they look pretty good. And you can see the price there, $1.99. I've seen them $1.99, $2.99, and $4.99. But that's, if you want any of them, that's what you have to look for. And it's basically, it says 3 volt per lamp, but that's not true, because if you put 9 volts on there, it burns them out. Don't ask me how I know that. So what I've got is a little battery pack here. It holds 2 AA's, and I've tested up to 6 lamps on 3 volts, and it works just fine. So I've got 6 lamps right there, and I'm installing 2 more here, so I'm going to see if it'll run 8 lamps. I've got 2 of those battery packs, and then I'll put some other street lights down this side as well. So anyway, just wanted to show you the lamps. So I'm not sure how this is going to show up, but I've got the lights wired, and there we go. The wire strippers and the scissors and pliers are in place just to hold them vertically, as I said before. But I think it turned out pretty good. So there are 8 lights powered by 3 volts, and I don't know if you can see here. Let me turn the overhead back on. So what I have is just a little battery box here wired to the outside, and if I need to change the batteries, why, I can just take the lid off and change that way. I don't have any soldering or wire nuts yet on the connections. I'll clean that up later, but To change the batteries, all I do is slide off the cover and I'm good to go. Have the on-off switch here. So works pretty well. All right, I'm going to put some in down towards the end. I think maybe 3 more lights at the far end of the sidewalk, and then I don't know what I'm going to do on this side of the street yet. I've got to let that section dry. There's some ground cover under there that's drying, so I'll be back shortly. Just wanted to give you all a final update on the street lights. I'll turn them all on, and you can see that they are lit. Apparently these are LEDs, at least that's what the package says. So, I don't I don't have any resistors in here, so I'm not sure, if they're actually LEDs or not. But the package says that each lamp requires 3 volts. Well, I'm not really sure about that. I've got 18 of these street lights, and the reason those are leaning down there at the end is I don't have them glued in yet, but there are 18 of these being powered by 2 AA batteries. So if you want some street lights and you can find these things, I would suggest getting them. They are very easy to use. Let me just talk a little bit about the light itself. So when it comes out of the package, you can see the wires all coiled up there. This section right here, the base of the lamp, is actually loose, and so it can slide up and down on the lamp post. And if you wanted to remove that for any reason, if you did not want the base on there, you could take it off. Untwist the wires, and that base would slide right off of there. So what I did is I glued the base to the post just using some regular plastic cement, and it seemed to work really well. So you can see what they look like here, and I just attached them to my layout with tacky glue. And the reason I did that was because if I ever want to take them out, in case maybe one of these will burn out one day, they should be fairly easy to remove. But anyway, I've got a lot of cleanup to do, but just want to give you that final update.